was packaged that way.
No.
Speaking to the mic.
The Mandarins though.
It was packaged that way.
But
so
the Mandarins though.
I had watermelon, melon, pineapple. I had tangerine.
All in one day?
Kiwi. Yeah.
Okay.
You was eating a fruit platter?
You had a fruit platter in one day, bro. Come on now.
I mean, I went to a farmer's market. Y'all know.
Oh, that's like
they got farmers market in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's
you might not find
the
them
prices
city.
are.
You might find them in the outskirts.
Yeah,
we talking like comparing food prices.
We talking about here in pseudo prices.
Oh hell.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
They be tasking. They be tasking for the fruit.
No way. You gotta understand. These are people that like have farms and they be on the side. Most people don't fuck with them because it looks sketchy. But if you find a good people who have like good fruit, you gotta check it. That's one thing I learned from our grandma. Check your fucking fruit.
But if it's in a cup or like package, how you gonna check that?
No,
it's little ways you know.
No. See, mine's totally different. Like, you have somebody that can also cut up what you want. You have somebody that can just give you by the slice. You seen watermelon, bro, cut in like fours. It's not always going to be in the can. Y'all seen fruit outside the can.
I never said watermelon in the can. Hold on. Watermelon in the can?
Never said just specifically watermelon in the can, but
like the actual
like fruit cocktails.
Oh, like fruit cocktails.
You got peaches, you got pineapples. No, I'm talking about somebody will cut your shit. You went to Puerto Rico.
No, I went to Dominican Republic.
But you saw real fruit.
Coconuts.
Cut.
That's
different than something to get.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's like.
All right,
folks.
let's
get it.
All right, this nigga will.
Three.
Wait, are we going?
Going live?
Bro, you was already recording now.
Okay.
5, 4.
Goddamn thing, bro. You didn't tell me shit, bro. You didn't tell me not a damn thing. Y'all, welcome back to. All right, listen. Okay, check me out. Nah, check me out. Welcome back to Sit Down with 704, man. I know it hasn't been that long now that I'm thinking about it. I know y'all got some familiar faces on here, and then we got some unfamiliar faces on here, man. We really want to thank you guys, first of all, for really, sticking with us. If you subscribing, we appreciate it, all the likes and all of that. And we just really hope y'all stay in tune, man. We just gonna keep on trying to drop as much as we can. You know, life always is life, and like I always tell y'all. So we can only get together, but so often. But you know what I'm saying, we are blessed in the presence of the new candidates. This is a weak link, guys, as I like to call him, the weak link of the car group. I'll say car group. He's a great man, but he's weak when it comes to the table.
Very interesting. Very interesting that you would actually say that, Joe.
But we're gonna call him Randy. This is Randy, gentlemen. This is Randy. I give you one of these. Now I'm gonna let them touch the base a little bit because I met Randy through Kay. So y'all know me and Kay. We go ways back. So you know what I'm saying. How did you guys kind of connect together?
I think that I can go in and just kind of touch on that. So first and foremost, thank you for having me on here, man. I'm very honored, and I don't think that I'm the weak link, so I want to rebox what you said. But yes, my name is Randy Watson. I am a full-time actor, and I
know your last name.
Yeah, Randy Watson.
I know that.
So if you're trying to come to America, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
So with that being said, just like a little bit about me, I was born and raised in Charlotte. I'm 24 years old. I've been acting for about a little over 3 years. And yeah, it's something that I definitely love. Like, this is something that I have always wanted to do when I was younger. Just never really had the funds at the time to get the proper training. So now over time, when Joe's still alive, I have no idea why, but anyway. So I know you guys want to know like how we all met. So first and foremost, my man Kalen. So I would say about a good year and a half. This is around the time of doing COVID, I believe, right? COVID. And actually, I got my social media was actually rising, as far as film work. So I had it was a female director that he knew. Now I didn't know Caitlin at the actual time, and she's been watching me for a few months or whatever. And she wanted to do a short film that was for a film festival, and she hit me up finally. And so I was like, okay, yeah, so I think it's that time that we can actually go in and meet. And once I got the set, Now, mind you, I didn't even know that she had another cinematographer. I thought it was just her. So once we got there, Kaylin comes in, blase. We just do our thing. We had like a 2-night shoot, like 2 nights.
Yeah. It was like 2 nights. Me and Maj, that's who I was working with. She's a director, and it was fairly new working with everybody. We came in. It was a situation where we was writing. Me and Maj, we was already writing before we started to cast everybody, and we were just trying to find somebody that could not only like pull off the character itself, but also bring that energy. And it took a little bit to find somebody, and we came up with Bro. And we're gonna dive more into that. But like, I knew for sure, like when we came on, I saw like-minded energy, and that's one thing we came upon, and it shows in our work, and that's one thing we hold on to. It's one thing about that I talked to Randy over this time. I was just like, man, we don't portray what is this facade of, okay, we want to just shoot or we want to just do it for fun. No, it's much deeper than that, and we piggybacked on that the last time we talked. So
yeah, because that shows. I mean, y'all have been gifted with finding your purpose, man. That's a good gift, and y'all been blessed to the point where you guys get like two sides of the camera. You get what I'm saying? You look at stuff differently than he looks at stuff, and then I love seeing you guys interact sometimes, because Randy is also intrigued with, when it comes to angles, lighting, all the stuff that someone that would just be behind the camera will have to worry about, but he's also informing himself on those types of things, and then vice versa. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that helps. That helps because you guys help present an experience or create an experience. You get what I'm saying? Whether that be abnormal or normal. Right. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's one of the many gifts that you guys also have, is creating something that's normal. Like every day, like you guys can create everyday things, like every day walking through the subway, walking down the street, like to be able to create those kinds of things, out of nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though it's experiences too. And like Randy, it's bigger. You know what I mean? It's like we have conversations all the time about why we do what we do, and he has a background just like I have a background. And it's like he pulled from his roots as well as I pull from mine, and that's what we make about it. One thing about the thing that me and him, I feel like this is why we make things that people tend to. We don't go in it selfishly. You know what I mean? We go in it about, okay, we know that we have our authenticity within our language, within what we do. But we know that, like we always said, bro, at the end of the film, it's like 30 people. It's like 100 people that brought that vision to life. And it's just like, that's one thing I want to do. We are breaking bread with people that we work with. We don't want to just have a 12-day shoot, 2-week shoot, and we don't speak to you again. It's like, no, we came together and we made something for everyone to see. And So I got a question, especially for you, Randy. So like I know with acting, I've been learning a whole lot when it comes to acting, because of videos you guys watch when I'm sitting here, kicking with you guys and whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? How do you get to the point where you are able to almost on the dime switch to different experiences? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand for some roles it may take more time than others. You get what I'm saying? But I feel intriguing where it's like you may have a role today to be, I don't know, a sad father, and then the next day you may be in something, completely different. But you're able to balance those two things.
Okay, so like first and foremost, so I do like a lot of like research, right? So like I watch a lot of like behind the scenes and like a ton of interviews of different actors. So everybody has their own way as far as like reading a script, right? Mm-hmm. So like typically how I do it, when I get a script, I'll skim over it, and then I'll just go and put it away. Typically because I have more than one, I might have like 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll just kind of like skim over those scripts. Once it comes to that point, maybe like a day or two, then again, every actor and actress has their different way of reading a script. It can be a week out, it can be the day of, the day before. So when I see these different characters, depending on that actual character, I'll do research or I'll watch films surrounding that character. So like that's typically what I would do. And when it comes to that point to where it's like, okay, yeah, well, we have to film tomorrow, I'm going to pull that script up. I want to skim over some more, I would typically read my lines and then also see what my co-star lines are, so I can see the reactions and actually see the actual action. Typically the director would kind of tell you what kind of like feel they would want within the actual character. And like I said, like I'm a person to where like I like to explore multiple different genres. So not just one, two, or three. I want to explore different ones. I love challenges.
Right.
So like those challenges, they enlighten me more because it's like, okay, well, I've never done this before. So I feel like that I could portray, something I haven't done before only because of the knowledge that I know as far as me actually searching or watching a film. So how I study as a person to understand the actual character is I watch film. I watch a shit ton of film. Like I don't think there's never been like a day where I haven't like watched a movie or like watched a TV show or like watched some behind the scenes or it just gets to the point to where it's like knowledge is key, right? So that's how I like can separate my characters and just see like what the mood is. Like, and like if they're upset, if they're happy, or if they're going into a state where it's multiple different algorithms of them actually being like, like different moods. It's something that it just kind of comes to me because of like, I feel like I treat it as like real life, right? Like if you was to get slapped, like how would you really act? Like if somebody was to do this to you, how would you like? Is that your character? Is that something that you think that you could have portrayed? But see, me personally, I just think of it as if it actually happened to me. Like that's how I like can control these different characters because I put myself in a mind to where it's like, oh wow, I'm actually in this. I zone everybody out. Once I see action, I'm already talking to my co-stars or whoever it is.
So how do you like, especially like you, like I didn't kind of just meet him, but like I'm kind of just now getting to understand his his acting background and whatnot because we've been talking a lot more or whatever. But I know a lot of your background, and I know you guys really one thing I noticed about you guys is that you guys are really disciplined and consistent when it comes to wanting to learn more. You get what I'm saying? And so how do you guys stay in that mode of like being disciplined and staying consistent, even when I know you like watch movies, even when I know you want to go and pop in a movie, but even still you pop in a movie, you can still take something from that. You get what I'm saying? When you want to play 2K or something like that, something other than what you usually do. How do you stay consistent with that?
For me, man, I think it goes all into who's around you.
That's facts.
And what you come from. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, like, I can't say that I know everything now that I knew at 17 or 18. So it's some things that I had to like go through and meet people, different experiences. I think, having that expectation when it comes to, okay, you want to do something and that goes for male or female. You find out what you like. I did, go to school to pursue like a specific thing, but at the same time, I'm still figuring out what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I think like when it makes me get out of the bed and I don't feel like I'm having to, first off, foremost, like I feel like I found something where me getting out of bed to go pursue that or go be involved in anything around that, it doesn't feel like I'm clocking in.
Right.
It feels like I want to be there. And I think, we don't knock someone who goes to like a 9 to 5 or anything like that. I'm still working. You know what I mean? I haven't reached certain heights that I would want to get.
Right.
But it's just like sacrifices help me, and I think letting some of the things go that doesn't align with what you want to do. But I think you have to like self-evaluate, and I think that's something that I did find out up there at T is how to self-evaluate, and don't be so shy to like reach out too. Me, it took a little time, because my circle was always so tight.
Right.
But at the same time, me and Randy work in a collaborative space. Now, not only that, it's like these realities that we are recreating, we want to also pull from a valuable space. But your viewpoint is valid as well. Like they want Randy there on time. They want him to be ready to portray whatever character that he's reading. Right. So that's also taxing on him. We can go all day, bro, to figure out like how long it may take you to get into a character to make those sacrifices to become that person. And then they asking me, the director, is like, okay, how can you recreate that environment that people would be in? So it comes to a situation where the studying, it comes to a situation where, okay, what's mattering? I mean, of course, we want to do this, and we have family. You still have to check in with family. You have to make sure you know where you at, because me, I found myself like, okay, I may go some time without reaching out to certain people that I really care about.
Right.
But it's just like, okay, like when you so locked in, I think you would make those certain sacrifices, and not to say that, okay, you're going to just be so standoffish, but it's just like you have to learn what works for you, man, and it doesn't happen overnight. That's something my granddad always told me. It's just like when you find yourself, you're gonna have to go through ups and downs to get to that.
Yeah.
And
we touched on that a lot.
Yeah,
We touched on that a lot about that. You know what I'm saying? And then so Randy, I got a question. So like whenever you're getting like into a role, because K touched down on you know what I'm saying, how much of a process it is to get into a role, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. Outside of on, you know, like not the actual film, but the people around it. How much pressure or how attentive are you as to how those people experience you offset?
Oh, so you mean like as far as friends or family that hasn't actually been like,
not more so
like,
friends and families, but like it could be colleagues. Like how are you attentive to the interactions that you have with the different people that you constantly come in contact with? You know what I'm saying?
when I'm not on set?
Yeah, like well, when you're on set but you're not filming, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The person behind the camera, the person that may be doing the soundboard, the person
Yeah,
that's right, that wrote it, and you know what I'm saying?
So typically, just like I said, man, like I'm for one, I'm an extrovert. So like I love to always have the camaraderie and just make sure that everybody is already like in the same space. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't never downplay nobody. If let's just say if you're like an extra or you're behind the camera, you're not the main person actually doing this or do whatever. No, because at the end of the day, every person has a job. Every person has that job to make that magic film on screen that everybody wants to see. So you lack that one or two people, it can destroy the entire project. So I treat everybody the exact same. And see, I'm like a person of like learning. So like when I get in touch with like the actual crew, so let's just set aside the extras and everybody else. Crew is very important because you can't make a film without a camera. Right?
That's
and
for sure.
then that's saying nowadays in 2023, you have to have sound. It's not the 1940s, right? You have to have sound. You have to have lighting. Lighting is very important to for one, help the editor out and to make it a cinematic, film to where the audience are like already entailed in. So crew needs to be just as treated just as much as the other main actors, supporting actors, extras. They have to be treated the exact same way. And me personally, as you guys already know, I'm a very humble person. So I introduce myself as that person to where everybody can always talk to. If there's a question, if somebody say, hey man, like, can I go over these lines with you? Yeah, I mean, of course. It's never like a thing to where it's like I would, like my ego would be like out of the roof to where it's like, you can't come talk to me, So like I treat everybody the exact same. Of course, directors, of course, because I don't want to end up getting fired. But anyway, obviously, right? But yeah, man, like I treat everybody the exact same. And the fact that like I feel like because I started out as an extra, so extras are like very important to me because they feel in the actual scene.
They feel in those
like
gaps.
You have to have like you have to have extras, or it's like we call them, just to kind of sound better, background actors. Like you have to have those to make the scene feel in how it's supposed to be, because if it wasn't just that, it would just be you see the main actors and it just doesn't feel right? So like everybody has their certain role and job to make that film come to life. Everybody has that portion to where it's very important. Every single one on set. So
but it's interesting to see that you're so just you're good at like managing the impact that you have on the people, on the people around you guys. I mean, you can't talk about that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there are times where you can't take the weight, the responsibility of how someone experiences you, but at the same time, you do hold some responsibility in that, because you do hold responsibility in your behavioral habits and whatever and whatever that may be going on. So I think it's real good to try to strive to understand your patterns and habits, because I feel as though that's what built you guys to this level of discipline. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though discipline is that, consistency of, okay, even though I might not want to do this, you know what I'm saying? This needs to be done so I can get to X, Y, Z. And you guys have to do that every day. because in y'all's business, it's like it's random. You know what I'm saying? Like you do one film and you go, and then before you know, okay, boom, now he's in movies. You're like, well, damn, he was just sitting here in front of me trying to figure out how to do this next amateur film. Like, you know what I'm saying? A couple of weeks ago, like it's crazy. Now he's doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's same thing on your end. You know what I'm saying? You film that one good thing. Somebody picks you up. Now we're like, yo, where's K at? K's like, yeah, I don't live here anymore.
I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gone. I'm going to film so and so. So we're like, dog, like he was just sitting on his couch 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel as though, you know, I think that you know what I'm saying, meeting you guys and seeing all of that go through is real, you know, it's just intriguing me because y'all know my field is completely different than you guys. So you know what I'm saying? For me, it's just like school, you basically figure something out in the thing. You know what I'm saying? Where you guys just like school can only take what you guys want to do, but so far. Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta get your feet wet out there as much as you can.
Many trades now. You know what I'm saying? You know you're a man of many trades.
Yeah. Y'all know I'm in a many trades. I am. You know, I haven't been consistent enough on my DJing like I used to be. But you know what I'm saying, I found some other passions in the pharmaceutical industry, and I've been, you know what I'm saying, I just been loving that, to be completely honest, more than I thought I would. You know what I'm saying? But again, that was discipline because, you know, I didn't want to do this. I really wanted to be like an engineer, maybe like a DJ. Maybe I was thinking, but
you was going hard.
Yeah, I was going.
If they know, they know.
Yeah, I was going hard for a minute, guys. It was strong. It was like 1 year felt like 4 when I was DJing. That's how much we were really we were really going. But you know that's kind of a little snippet we got for you guys today, man. I mean, I ain't got too much for y'all, to be completely honest. That's really all I got for you guys. So
yeah,
I
mean, but you know, I do have a couple questions because I think I have like a little bit more to just kind of ask because like you feel me.
That's a good moment I was talking about.
Break that moment. Yeah, guys, we'll be right back. I guess.
It is. What's up? What's good, YouTube? If you're seeing this, you're watching an ad. Yes, folks, this is an ad for Dub Sticker Planet. If you want a heat-resistant, vinyl, premium, best of the best sticker, then shop at Dub Sticker Planet. It's available on Etsy. And if you want the best sticker available, please shop at Dub Sticker Planet. Thank you.
We're going to go straight into you, I guess.
That sounds very delightful. So yeah, like I definitely wanted to ask you guys a few questions, especially Caleb, because for him being my cinematographer, the films that we've done together, I just kind of want to get like an insight, man. Like, what initially, like, as a matter of fact, let's kind of step out of that little bubble, right? How is your world being, man? Like, you know, like what is your life like as of right now? Like, how are you feeling? You know, was there any obstacles within your personal life that actually, you know, like maybe affected you to get to where you are now? Like, how are you feeling like right now?
Yeah, bro, that would be like an in-depth. That would be like a very, very, very in-depth answer. An answer where everything probably would not be guaranteed covered right now, but
let's say within the college period, you know,
college.
How were you, you know, as far as like college, you know, on a personal level before the filming, unless you were doing the filming during college, but like, what's like the personal life, like what's the college life, you know?
So if you're asking me like what college life is, and then also like how I experienced college life.
How did you experience college life?
Well, how do I experience college life? Me, hands down, I went to, in my opinion, you know, one of the best HBCUs there is. You talk to any alum that went to this school, man, everybody has their high moments, bro. Like the hype of the 4 years that they attended.
What's the name of it? Just so everybody might not know.
So it's the one and only, you know, A&T, North Carolina, agricultural technical state university. We the Aggies. If you go into a homecoming, you know you only going to the homecoming. But man, bro, you're asking like someone who was a student for 4 years who had a resume of 4 years being there, and each 4 years was different. as much as you wanted to be involved in the school and the people you met, you know, everybody had to make it out differently. I was in there from 2015 to 2019. So I would even say that, man, like I would say the class of 2019 definitely have a period or two in the record books to go with that history of what A&T is about, bro, because people have been stomping that yard before I even got there, and they've been going wild. But to tie that all into how my life is now, time management, the people that I meet, not being afraid to speak up and be like, hey, like, I want to do this. It taught you to be out of a comfort zone. It taught you, like I said, the time management for me. That's one thing that I know. And it's like the people that also came with college. Joe right here, you know, and everybody that's not on camera right now, that's a part of who he was in 704. That definitely helped me, you know what I mean, to not run into hurdles, but jump over them as I move in life now.
So, like, question, because like I know that in college he was the superstar on the track.
I was one.
Oh, he was.
I would not. I would not. I was one of them.
That other one of them would have been me.
You talking about A&T?
I'm not saying exactly A&T, but I'm saying that luckily, you know, if that 10-point scale would have came in just in time, well, even though you was already like ahead of me, you know, but man, I would say you ain't get this.
That would have been fun. That would have been fun, bro. That would have been. It would have, because track, you know, track, bro. The community is so heavy.
Tell me about that. Tell me how you like your track experience was. Like, you know, from freshman, because you started when you was a freshman, right? Or when did you actually was on the team?
I started taking track seriously in middle school. Okay. But there was also every summer where you could have played basketball, football, you were in track. I think that as every, you know, athlete that's in my, you know what I'm saying, like, ethnicity, like, you know, you either playing one or the other. Somebody that was in your family either played, or somebody who wanted to play, or somebody introduced you. My father, he played basketball, he played football, he ran track, but he took football, I think, the most under consideration of what I should do with my time in the summer. And then track also helped me condition in the offseason for football. I wasn't the basketball bred, like this man right here is basketball bred. But it definitely to tie it all in, like, speaking on track, because you asked me about track, but you gotta imagine it's like 6 teams or 8 teams, even in like AAU, that may be at 1 meet at a time. Mm-hmm. And you got the little babies all the way up to like 16 years old. So imagine, bro, you're like camp in the summertime, but you just running your ass off, and you grow up with people in the track community. People sometimes be talking down on the track community because they don't make the most, like these other sports. It's all about your endorsements, but bro, to travel the world, Japan,
just like any other sports,
any other sports, is like a global sports international. Exactly. So it's like that's what you get in return, and I think there's a lot of athletes that's coming up now in the sport of track that want to make everybody be on notice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know, and like especially from somebody actually, you know, running track too at that point. So I know, like I feel like it's like a adrenaline like rush. Like I said, like I do play basketball too.
Because you played basketball.
I had played for a team. I also played football for a team as well too. But I feel like track definitely gives you like a different track record, like unintended.
It gives me a high. When I used to in high school, it gave me a high. It was like you waiting for that gun to go, and you just like,
and it's like,
whoa, that anticipation.
Three things, and I'll leave it at this. 3 things. For me, okay, I had 2 coaches coming up, and like I said, I have Sid.
There you go.
Sid definitely is one. Sid took me to my end. But I had Feaster first. Mm-hmm. Everybody who went to our group know who Feaster is, and I had Sid. Both of them guys changed me. Feaster had me as a sprinter, and Sid took me down to the quarter horse, where it was just like, all right, I finished the 4 out. But I would say, man, like, the biggest thing though, I'm telling you y'all, is like these kids, bro. When you're like 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, and you're running with kids in the AAU meet, you still see those kids later on. Like they may go to a different school than you, but you still see them. I've seen plenty of kids that's cool, that's homies, bro, that we was running as kids, and we ran in middle school against each other or with each other, high school. So it's just like that's what's so hype, knowing that somebody may stay in the same hood as you, and you guys are competing to be number one in the state. And I think it's just that, NC Miles split helped me out a lot because Sid also told me, he was like, okay, yeah, you won today, but let's go online and see what you won nationally. Because it's a global sport, bro. It's like you can have somebody in, as you can see, Jamaica, Spain, England, America. It's like, okay, you racing against the globe. And it's just like, as a youngster, if you're just thinking about having fun and you're not thinking about, okay, I want to be number one or I want to get this gold medal, there's an Olympics every 4 years. And they say that a runner is only good for one Olympics. And that's every 4 years. So it's just like, if you're not running on the Olympic team, you're running in circuits and you're trying to get your endorsements. But to tie all that into what I do now, bro, it's like the discipline to help me know, like, okay, if my body, all right, like when I was training, I know how I felt. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, how do I keep myself up now? I don't run anymore. I respect the sport to know that, hey, like, it takes effort. We all, like, you can't cheat nothing. You know what I mean? You can't cheat nothing. None of you up here cheat anything that you do. Right. You take it for what it is and you get better at it. And I think that's what's really helping me out, because that's really what we was talking about, just like how, what I learned playing sports and how that's helped me right now. I think it's just to keep discipline, keep learning, be a student of the game. That's something that we talk about all the time. I think that's as personal as it gets to me, bro. And it's a thing that you have to learn.
Question from production. Do you think wanting to be the best in high school as a track athlete draws you now?
Wanting to be the best then, I would say wanting to be the best for me was to make sure in high school, wanting to be the best was getting college paid. That's something that my people's talked about. It's like we had big dreams, big goals, but we also had like the small little ones. You had like what was also reality too. Mm-hmm. I come from a family where if you don't go D1, like you're not really doing nothing. So like I kind of was like, all right, we got to go D1. Like everybody that was before me was going D1, bro. Like bro, don't get it twisted. Like if you've seen the football, basketball, any sport, you guys can attest to. Like my boy Drake can tell me too, bro. Like when I was coming in as a freshman, nigga, I was small. They was big. Like you had some dogs in high school when I first came in, and it was just like, okay, I seen what the college athlete. You take care of your body, bro. You gonna be in a different. It's this whole thing. Football, it's this eye test thing. You know what I mean? But you got some dogs out there now that's like not as big and they agile and they have the agility to do what they got to do. Mm. But I think my competitiveness and wanting to bring it every time I step behind the camera comes from sports. I would say that. Looking at what success is for me, being like one of the greatest athletes or one of the greatest cinematographers, it comes with, I guess your own internal aspects and your own biased opinion on like what you want to reach. But everybody that's been around me can tell you that like one of out of the many qualities that I do want to have in my work is being like relatable to my peers and saying that, okay, like not only do he can create films, but it's like, okay, he also bring us back to what really matters. And I think that's what it is. You asking somebody to do that at 27 years old, I already have a lot of pressure on myself as it is, but I will have something that I want to reach everybody up here to be able to look at and be like, all right, well, he put his time and effort into this, and it's just like, I see why he takes the sacrifices and I see why he do what he do. But I gotta already know that within myself before somebody else tell me, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm so high up on the yays and the you great, what happens when somebody tell me I make something that's not as great? Am I gonna be like, oh damn?
Right. You gotta accept the criticism,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like.
But to get here, I had a village, you know what I'm saying? Even right now, y'all, whoever watching this right now, like I have brothers here. I got Joe, I got Randy, I got Drake, I got Will, you know what I'm saying? I got you know what I'm saying? I got her. So it's just like, bro, we all do this for a reason. And I'm glad that I have people around me to help me get there.
Yeah.
Like-minded.
Yeah, like bro, like I always say, like especially like in the entertainment industry, and even just outside of the entertainment industry, like like as far as sports or like whatever your career job is. Of course, everybody at the end of the day wants to be the best. The best of the best. So like the way I look at it is, I want to be the best that Randy can be, my ability, because I'm only like the way I think is I'm only competing with myself. So like in my mind, it's like if I'm always competing with myself, nobody's actually better than me because I'm competing, with myself. So like I'm my self motivation. And like I said, now the fact that I have a 2-year-old son, you talking about like
self-reflecting and
yeah, like that's like me
watching.
Yeah, like he's like watching, like as he grows up. So at everything, touches everything, throws everything, So like I want to make sure that like he gets that great representative, and not just saying like just from like just a dad, but because things that we go through, on like a daily basis, as far as just for one, just being honest, just being black, being black and being proud, loving dad at that, because we kind of already get, excuse my language, but shit it off, by like a lot of people, and that like even though it's to the point to where it's like saying that men don't have emotions, just because we don't show them, we don't have them, but like I feel you like when it comes to a point to where it's like being like a father figure, not even saying if you're like a stepdad or whatever, like that's very important to like a lot of dads out here. So we do get a lot of hate, we get a lot of pushback, a lot of this and that, like you're deadbeat like that. Nobody wants to become a statistic at the end of the day. So we definitely try our best to do the best that we can. And the fact that, us being still within that young age, we're still learning. Like we're at the end of the day, we're all human. Right. There's not one person here that can say that, I'm perfect, right? I literally score 10 every single time. No, we're human. Everybody messes up. Everybody has those flaws. Everybody has those pros. Everybody has their time to actually show up when it's time to actually show out. And that goes for man and female as well too. Like, we're God's greatest creation. So we definitely want to show the best that we can be, because at the end of the day, YOLO makes sense. Like, you have one life, so you definitely want to not waste, that one life on something dumb.
Just tell them to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Just tell them to go, bro. But it's just like, bro, I'm telling you, man, like, you can only imagine, bro. You have somebody like you, like somebody who don't have you. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine if they had somebody around. You know what I mean? Like you, or like Joe, or like everybody that we know who are sparking. And a wrong way, but as in like you're surpassing these different things that you had to learn to battle. You know what I mean? So it's like right now, I'll say like you touched on based off focus, and when trying to pursue a specific goal, or I would say something you're trying to do, work towards, like what is it that you would say that helps you? And then I guess also like what you learned from the many people that I guess that probably taught you something that may correlate to what you're trying to do, or not necessarily did or trying to do what you're trying to do, but you took it and you made it work for your own way.
I would say, well, first off, my dad is phenomenal. To me, I know everyone probably says that's about their dad, but my dad's phenomenal in the sense of I've been blessed to see someone that's constantly trying to learn stuff, whether it's human behavior and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of have an aspect of things, or I have some tools in my toolbox that no person would have, because I'm growing up with two therapists in my household. You know what I'm saying? So I think that with that came a lot of weight and helped shape the way I go towards things now. So like when it comes to like little stuff, like when I started DJing, you know what I'm saying, that came from my dad. My dad was a partier, like, and if you knew my dad and you looked at him, you would never think that he partied, but he used to party his tail off. And so I kind of got that from him. And in the sense of, people thought that it would be a case where they would reject the fact that I was DJing, because that would mean that I'm partying while I'm in school, so maybe I'm not focused. But for them to take that under consideration where it comes to like my feelings towards it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that helped me in the long run, because I'm real attentive Well, I'm real attentive now. Now I will say about a year and a half ago, I wasn't as attentive to how other people were experiencing, feeling how, how I guess how they experiencing me, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm a little more attentive to it because I understand that I'm impacting that person, whether I feel as though I am or not. You know what I'm saying? Me being in presence with someone and having any slight interaction is some form of impact. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a hey, whether it's a good morning, you know what I'm saying, whether or a deep conversation, is all, I feel those all tied in. So, but I will say lately it's just been a struggle, bro. It's been a struggle of just staying on the course, being consistent with it. So I just been trying to lean. I feel like if I lean on my obedience, it'll keep my focus where it needs to lie. You know what I'm saying? I feel like obedience strengthens your focus. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And your focus strengthens everything else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because then whatever you decide to put the energy towards, you know you're putting your best foot forward because you've mastered that obedience of that focus. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you guys tune into that a lot with y'all's professions. You know what I'm saying? Having to constantly be on to something and may not see results in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You might not see results. You know what I'm saying? And you may have, and this the other thing for me, it's like sometimes someone writes it and then you guys have to create it. Or it could be vice versa. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like so it's not even always your vision. That person may have a completely different vision, but then when you start filming it, you're like, but it would be way better if it was like this. So does that become conflicting?
So that's exactly why, like, I'm actually glad that you actually touched up on that. So like, that's like very important because, us as like, I'm saying me as an actor, and Kay does like a little bit of acting as well too. But once we see that script, you're right, it is somebody else's vision. So like, that's literally exactly what it is. Their vision. You have a writer that writes that. So we're literally just getting thrown in. Okay, well, script. We have to understand and get into that character. And when you get to that point, up to where it's like, okay, well, yeah, this is it. I feel like that this is the scene. This is the take. If this is why I say for like other actors, I tend to pretty much kind of speak on, things that what I've done and, et cetera, and what I've also learned is that you have to love this. You have to want to do this. It's not to where it's like, oh yeah, I want to just hop in and just make millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way. And even if you got lucky enough to where you met the right person and you're just like, you got the lead role and you're just actually making a ton of money, it's going to show. It's going to show. You have to love this. You have to want this. You have to wrap this around your finger. You have to eat. You have to sleep this. You have to shit this. You have to breathe this. You have to want this every single minute of the day. Because the moment that you start slacking, it shows. It shows. Yeah. Doctors, right? You have doctors. Let's just be for real, right? We expect them to save people's lives. So they have to stay on top of every single thing, every tic-tac, every little nip-nap, every single thing. They start slacking, lives potentially gets to get lost, correct? So like, in any other career, nobody wants to like start slacking. You want to, and this is a huge thing to me. And this is like a thing that, I've acquired from Denzel, we all know that. Great Denzel, right? Denzel. Yes. So, and people can sometimes confuse movement with progression.
Right.
As the way I kind of break it apart, like anybody can always have movement, correct, right? So you can have movement, but that doesn't mean that you're actually moving forward. You can be moving in circles. Yeah, that's movement. Yeah, okay, correct. Progression. Yeah. You're progressing on from wherever you're at, from the very beginning to the middle to the end. You just keep on progressing. So never get those two confused, because like you always want to progress. Everyone wants to progress, but you have to understand like, okay, well, am I falling in like a circle to where it's like, okay, wow, I think I'm progressing, but I feel like I'm just moving into a point to where it might hit from A to B, B to A to B. No. You want to go down the entire alphabet. You want to keep on going back and forth. You want to make sure you're hitting every single zone. You want to make sure that you're hitting every single goal. And this is within any career. Everyone has to have a goal. So when somebody just hops into something and just says, hey man, I want to just kind of do this, or whatever. It's like, okay, well, What's your end goal? Or not even just your end goal. Like how do you imagine it to keep on having those like tally marks to keep on going rather than just saying, I want to keep on going. Like, okay, well, where are you going with this?
Don't stop dreaming. That's basically what that is. Is don't stop dreaming. There can't just be.
It can't be a limit. And this is exactly why like Kaylin said earlier, nobody knocks on a 9 to 5. No, nobody does. But at the end of the day, you have certain entrepreneurs, you have certain people that want to own different businesses, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
With certain 9 to 5s, you're capped. If you're the manager, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to become the CEO. And even if you do, okay, then that's a whole different story. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be capped at where you're at. So you want to understand where your career lies and how much and money is a factor in this because you have to live and blase. But when it does come to money, you're definitely capped. So you want to understand okay, well, do your research. Okay, am I going to be capped here? Am I going to be capped there? Like, I don't want somebody controlling my cap of how much I can make, knowing that I can make much more. Like, that you're more than what the company is actually pursuing you as. Okay, well, they say that, they want you to do this, but that you can freaking build a dang flying rocket ship that can go into Mars and Pluto. Like you have more, but they cap you. So you don't ever want to like get to that point to where you're like, okay, well, all right, well, they said that I'm capped, so I'm going to listen to them.
It goes to being okay with being uncomfortable. And me and you
Yes.
talk about that all the time.
Yes.
Being okay with being uncomfortable. When you get too comfortable, it's just like I don't know. I don't like it because when I grew up, my mom used to always say, if you're comfortable, it something needs to shift. You know what I'm saying? You constantly need to pivot. Life's gonna keep life, and stuff is always gonna happen.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You choose whether it's happening to you or for you. You get what I'm saying? So it's really a your decision thing. That's why again I loop all the way back around to that discipline. You know what I'm saying? And that obedience you have to whatever craft you're deciding to go for, or whatever whatever you do. It could be as little as making sure you pick up your laundry every day to pursuing whatever your thing is. Just like exercising that discipline constantly in those little increments. You can lead up to those big things in your life, but you gotta start somewhere. It can't always just be I'll get to it. That's how you end up 50 and still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're trying to be at all.
Yeah, and it's actually crazy because at the end of the day, like when you hear different people in the entertainment business, and I'm just going to say this off a Rod Wave because I'm a Rod Wave fan, but I know. But at the end of the day, it's as I would say, you got to take 1,000 losses just to get one win. And sometimes it's like that. Some people just get lucky. Some people just get lucky enough to actually just get that one win within the first 10 tries or whatever.
And I don't even see the other 1,000 as losses.
Thank you. I don't, what's crazy? I don't even see them as losses. I see them as many wins because many wins. It gets to the point to where it's like, okay, well, I lost this amount of money, or I lost my job or whatever. But a lot of times, when that happens, it potentially grades you into becoming something better. Like this had to happen.
Go expand your capacity. You know what I'm saying? Go expand your capacity. Don't be complacent where your capacity is at, man. Because you get comfortable. You get comfortable, and then you're wondering why. You're like, my life is standard, but you haven't stepped towards anything yet. Like sometimes it's as simple as stepping towards whatever that is.
I say, man, just right now, what I'm wearing right now. Hopefully, what somebody else is wearing right now. Just go for what you want to go for. Take steps towards it. It's a game of chess. You don't have to make moves so fast. You can think things through.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep your stamina, take care of your health, and keep people who's around you that's getting close. You know what I mean? And just keep going for it. You know what I mean? The only way you don't get there is if you stop. And that's what I'm saying. So the only thing I say is become comfortable by being uncomfortable.
Right.
Once you get into a point like that, it don't matter what situation that you're in. It doesn't even matter.
You just go.
You just ready to rock. And I always say this too because I was in sales. ABC, always be closing, always. And I feel like that sales technique is in anything. Always be closing, get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, adapt to your environment, understand who you're around. Everybody's different.
And just enjoy the journey. That's basically what we're trying to get to y'all, man. Just enjoy the journey, man. And that's what we kind of gonna leave y'all with. We leave y'all with, enjoy the journey. Be okay with being uncomfortable, because uncomfortable doesn't mean you're not always gonna get what you want. It just means maybe it's not right now, and that's okay, because everyone's got their own pace, everyone's got their own path. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay up. We gonna get up out of here. We appreciate you, Randy.
Yes, I want to definitely thank you guys again for having me on here, man. It was a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. Won't be the last time.
I love to represent.
Oh yeah, love is in the air.